asked me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so. Everybody asked me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so. Everybody asked me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so. I know.
Cthulhu Thaken, my insignificant mortals, and welcome back to another episode of VideoJames. Now, I realise it has been a long time since my last review, but... Nah, just kidding. I'd actually like to do a double pack review today, just to make up for it, really. Now, I'd like to call to your attention the universe of my personal favourite author, Howard Philip Lovecraft. Kick it away.
Now, Lovecraft was born in Providence, Rhode Island in 1890, and for the majority of his life wrote horror, intrigue and sci-fi novels. These works centred on themes of grand-scale existentialism, inept human personal retellings, and humanity's psychological inability to cope with forbidden knowledge of these grotesque, horrific, and fantastical happenings. Each novel, as well, is also linked to one another through offhand references and reoccurring deities, which all form to create a very dark and expansive mythos of Azathoth, the Old Ones, the Deep Ones, Yog-Sothoth, the Shaggoths, Dagon, the Elder Things, and the most widely known and famous of all the Lovecraftian creatures, that big lovable elder god we all know and love, ladies and gentlemen, he who sleeps below, the one we all know, Cthulhu. So what does that have to do with today's review? Well, to pay respects to my favourite author, I'll be doing a double review. Rats on the Walls by independent games creator Shylov, and All the Way Down by Sanctuary Interactive. So let inevitable madness take control of you and render you a babbling madman. Sit down, relax, and enjoy today's episode. Cue the montage. Rats in the Walls, a short flash game based around the events of the novel of the same name, is a tap-and-click puzzle/detective game that uses a heavy emphasis on sound design and spooky atmosphere to lead you along the story, which keeps in mind the original intent of the book, and has enough puzzles to intrigue you enough to play to the very end. As mentioned earlier, the controls are about as basic as Pac-Man. You can go left, you can go right, interact with the doors and objects, which, usually gets a nice dialogue box with a direct reference to its place within the story, which I like. As well, when you interact with objects, your character can actually store whatever that object is deep within his sphincter. A key, a lantern, a bottle of kerosene, a goddamn crowbar. Your anus is as vast as it is reliable. Now, downfalls. Firstly, I wouldn't say the minimalistic graphic choice is a downfall, as it gets across the story and gameplay without much issue. However, as a problem with most detective games like King's Quest or The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, objects that are imperative with the story blend in with the background. You can't really deep shelf a crowbar if you don't even know where the bloody thing is. Now, the story's conclusion is honestly very lacking, and a lot of Lovecraftian-inspired games have the issue of the madness factor prevalent within every story, but they always happen to just end abruptly with no rhyme or reason, and it's the same with this game. One minute you're fun and dandy exploring the underground caverns of MS Paint, then next you're batshit bonkers in a padded cell like Anthony Hopkins in Hannibal.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Now, overall, to rate it, I'd say that Rats in the Walls is 2.5 secret death cults out of 5. And being that it is a free Flash game, I'd say it's worth your time.
Oh no! The cultists and people in our summoning spawn of
From
Cthulhu!
the exciting universe of H.P. Lovecraft comes The Legends of Cthulhu.
The great old ones shall return to rule the earth!
Not if the professor has anything to say about it.
It's too late. The spawn of Cthulhu has risen. Arrgh!
What happens next in the world of Cthulhu? You decide. Cthulhu and the Legends of Cthulhu collection each sold separately from Warpo.
All the Way Down by a small indie game jam team, Sanctuary Interactive, runs the same blood as Rats in the Walls, being that both are puzzle/detective games that centre on creepy atmosphere and unravelling mysteries. The difference is that All the Way Down clearly has a lot more elbow grease and production value put into it than Rats in almost every factor. The main character is fully voice acted, the backgrounds are interactive and nicely detailed with blended colours and clear distinction between character and background. The supporting cast of characters are well voice acted and with personalities and motivations.
I was hiking and got lost in the storm. It just dropped right on me. Came out of nowhere.
In terms of story, Rats focused on what lies below the layer, ever descending deeper and deeper into the unknown and the dangerous. A nervous feeling of always being followed as you progress further below. All the Way Down is more closer to what you'd find in a Resident Evil game or Silent Hill. You arrive at the general store in the thick of a raging blizzard, asking for a place to stay, and immediately you notice some key features. 1. Your character is American. 2. Your character is a dickhole. 3. Your character is an American dickhole. And you're in Britain. So it's kind of a worst case scenario here.
Imagine that's gonna stay where it is.
God bless America.
So after talking to this paranoid but hot clerk attendant, you soon learn that you're on the fringes of a small mining town called Millvale, and that Millvale is not safe to anyone who isn't local. As well, the hot attendant urges you to brace the storm rather than actually going into the town. This helps establish a feeling of unease and foreboding dread. So you, being the considerate and cautious puff jacket you are, ditch the bitch and stroll right into town.
Like a mouse!
This is where you get to lap up the eerie atmosphere and spooky surroundings of the place, before you're harassed by the local crustaceans. Now, I don't know who this random guy is, but you are given the option to punch him square in the face. This feature is definitely ahead of its time, and one I really wish all games would do. Well, I didn't do it, because, well, frankly, I don't know if he has a lawyer. I don't want to get sued, so I walk right on by, mind his business. And it takes you to the bar, which is the central place of the entire story. And in the bar, you meet the creepiest, most unhinging creature of the game, the bartender. God's the bartender. Now, this guy must have taken some vocal tips from Alan Rickman.
You don't have quite the right look about you.
Mr. Potter, our new celebrity.
He is just the grease of my life. Actually, let's just walk away from Kitty Tickler over there. Yeah, stranger danger. Don't go there, kids. Actually, someone chuck a sign up or something. Yeah, that's it. Walking over, you meet the cliche that is the wise old man that warns you to leave while you still can. He serves as the Zadok Allen of All the Way Down, and gives the backstory to the shadow that looms under Millvale, and what has taken over the mind of the residents of the town. And it's told in a way that's very fun, interesting, and I honestly consider the best part of the game.
How queer.
Fear and madness, yada yada yada, you go to bed, lock your door, and decide that sleeping here in Jonestown is the best course of action to do. But surprise! Alan Rickman smells you sleeping and tries to burst into your room in a violent thirst for untapped booty. This throws you into an intense escape scene directly inspired by Shadow over Innsmouth, which ends about as well as if I tried it. So, bim bam boom, you come to in Steve Buscemi's basement. And Stevie here tells you that he is not the only cat in town looking to clean off his trouser snake in your secret garden. This is where things get really creepy, as Greaseball basically says to you that the entire town is atop a kingdom of deep ones who are hankering for some puffball steak.
Funny thing is flesh. Eventually you get used to the burning, the cutting, the ripping. It stops being pain, stops being fear. You start to appreciate the exquisite nature of it all. They don't like it when you want it.
What are they gonna do to me?
I don't know, lad, but you'll not be seen again.
So, yeah, you took the wrong turn at Albuquerque, and you're up shit creek without a paddle. You are royally fucked.
Always look on the bright side of life.
Anyway, you puzzle your way down deeper below the town till you escape through the mining caves and... the game ends. Yeah. Originally, I was going to talk about how jarringly abrupt the story ends, but after doing a little bit of research, I soon found out that All the Way Down was a game jam project. And if you don't know what a game jam is, it's where a group of programmers make a complete game in anywhere from a month to 3 days. So, I'm willing to let it slide on the story, but I just really like a lot more meat to this, because honestly, I really enjoyed this story. I really enjoyed this game. It creeped me out in certain sections. Especially this guy. Seriously, do not let him near your kids. He will touch them. Say no. Say no to Steve Buscemi.
Want to be eaten alive? No! Then get out of here!
All the Way Down gets 3.5 death cults out of 5.
Well, that ends my double pack Lovecraft review. All in all, as a big fan of the Cthulhian mythos and pseudo-religion, I'd say that I thoroughly enjoyed myself with both these games. And although they blow their story wad way too early, and that in terms of game length both average at around 30 minutes, for one solid hour of free content, both are well worth your time, and great little additions to the Lovecraftian game scene. If you'd like to learn more about Lovecraftian elements in geek culture, I'd recommend playing either 2005's Call of Cthulhu, Dark Corners of the Earth, or the graphical masterpiece, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. In terms of movies, well, there's way too many to mention, so I'd say a good starting off point would be the Kickstarter-made film Call of Cthulhu. And as for actual books, well, you cannot go past the fantastically written book, Shadow over Innsmouth, with the more famous fan favourite, Call of Cthulhu, following second. Well, hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'm VideoJames, signing off.